Hi, this video is about a lab that we're going to be spending the next few days on, at least interpreting the data. We're going to determine the launch speed of a Pasco mini launcher. This is a miniature projectile launcher from the company called Pasco. And it has a shaft you can depress and then a lever to release the projectile on the back cord. Pull it. It also has a protractor on the side so that you can tell what angle the projectile is launching at. Now we only have one of these, so I think what we'll do is we'll have each group perhaps set the launcher at a different angle and we can get a whole lot of data to work with. So I'll just set that up there. What you'll need as far as equipment goes is the mini launcher with the protractor attached, meter sticks to measure distance, and carbon paper to see where the projectile lands. So the projector works like this. You take, this is a kind of a ramrod. You put the little steel ball in the projector and you can click it up to 3 times. We're going to do the second click. You can do up to 3, but let's all stick with the second one. So 1, 2, and then we'll place the paper and the carbon paper on top of it down at the other end of the table so that when it lands, we get a record of where it lands. So I just launch it by pulling this back like so. Oh, it's coming back. Good. So, in order to calculate, I guess I should say, the launch speed, you're going to have to ask yourself, what do you need to measure to get that done? And one of the things that you definitely need to measure is the launch angle, and you can do that with a little attached protractor on the side of the mini launcher. And the other thing you're going to measure is the distance, that is how far the projectile goes. Now, since we're going to be sharing this launcher with different groups, you need to come to the table, get the angle that you're supposed to have for your group, and get set up. Maybe take 5 launches, make sure it lands on the paper and the carbon paper each time. That'll give you kind of an average way to get the distance to that paper. So launch it 5 times, do that quickly. Measure the distance before you pick the paper up, before the next group comes over, and then you can start working on the solution to see if you can't calculate that launch speed as it comes out of the projectile launcher. You'll treat it just like we've treated all the other problems we've done in projectile motion. Make a list of givens and unknowns. Again, these are some of the things that you've actually measured instead of being given, the distance and that angle. But you're going to have to use some variables, some kind of placeholders. You won't have actual values for some things that you actually need to work with, but you can still work on it and algebraically and see if you can't get things to cancel and find out what you need to know in order to figure out the launch speed. That's tricky. Work on it in your groups first, and then if you get stuck on something or you don't quite know what to do, ask your group members first, and then ask me if you need some extra help. And then after we get those launch speeds, we may analyze the data in other ways to look at the effective angle on distance and if the angle has anything to do with the launch speed and things like that.